surprise, a lot of the international papers are headlining on Bashar al-Assad's speech yesterday in Damascus.
Absolutely. We're going to start by looking at Al-Watan, the Kuwaiti newspaper that says that al-Assad's peace plan is greeted with scorn by foes, because this whole speech was billed as an unveiling of a new peace plan, but according to Al-Watan, al-Assad offered no concessions and in fact hardened many of his positions. And that's an idea that's also on the International Herald Tribune today. It says, in his speech, Assad erased any hopes for compromise. And you see this photo here of a man watching al-Assad's speech when it was live. The same photo is on the front page of The Independent today. And inside it points out that Bashar al-Assad was speaking in front of what they call this backdrop of 12,000 Syrian martyrs. It was photos of dead Syrian soldiers. And there's an interesting analysis piece by The Independent's Middle East correspondent Robert Fisk in today's Independent. And he says that the real target of what he calls al-Assad's theatrical display was his army, because the army is what really took center stage yesterday, according to this article. It wasn't the party.
So he was trying to rally support in the base?
Rally support for the base, because according to the article, the army is the real bedrock of his power. And as long as the army is still in the ring, then al-Assad is still in the ring, and the war, alas, goes on.
Now, this next story looks at a group of people we talked about at the beginning of the Syrian civil war and haven't heard from in a long time. People who have not yet picked sides in the civil war, who are still sitting on the fence.
That's right. This is an article in today's International Herald Tribune, which appeared in the New York Times over the weekend. So who are these people that are still stuck on the fence? Well, according to this article, among them are business owners, people who drive the economy, bankers who finance the economy, as well as security officials and government officials who maintain this authoritative state. Now, according to this article, they feel somewhat trapped because on the one hand, they're feeling increasingly disenchanted with Bashar al-Assad's regime and disgusted with the violence, but they feel like they can't trust the rebels either. According to this article, though, there really are a critical block because if they decide to abandon the government and start supporting the rebels, then they could actually be the ones to change the tide.
They could shift things one way or another.
Shift the tide. But it says that for the moment, their uncertainty is contributing to the stalemate, and it's what's keeping Bashar al-Assad in power somewhat.
We've been talking earlier in this news edition about the latest developments in the story of the Indian victim who was gang raped, brutally beaten, who passed away over a week ago. This is also getting a lot of attention in the international press.
That's right. It's been getting attention for the last couple of weeks. It's continuing now. There's a cartoon in China Daily where you see this drawing of the young victim there. And it suggests that, on the one hand, that perhaps the whole country has blood on its hands and the whole country is affected by this rape. Because one thing this rape has brought to light is this certain culture of violence against women in India. And in fact, the Times of India today...
A rape reported every 20 seconds, or happens every 20 seconds in India on average.
That's right, not always reported, in fact. The Times of India says that if there's anything positive that could come out of this rape case, it's the fact that so many people are talking about it and people are trying to figure out what are the causes of rape and how to prevent it. Now, in their editorial today, they say that the response to sex crime should not be more Puritanism, and it accuses both the right and the left of doing this. It says that rapes don't occur because men and women interact. Rapes don't occur because women go out at night or work at night. It says that any approach that combats sex crimes by suppressing any expression of sexuality is doomed to fail. And it says that the real issue here is consent, and that's what India needs to make laws about.
Earlier, we were talking about Gérard Depardieu, the French actor who got a passport by Vladimir Putin because he's trying to run away from French taxes. It's, of course, of interest to the French press, but it's also of interest to the international press.
It's quite surprising. It's even on very serious newspapers like the Wall Street Journal. Here you see a photo of Gérard Depardieu with his new Russian passport. The International Herald Tribune has a funny cartoon today where it suggests that, Gérard Depardieu is perhaps Vladimir Putin's latest Russian doll. And if you get a chance, read the editorial in The Guardian. It points out that this fleeting celebrities in France is a real issue for François Hollande that he needs to deal with.
All right, Florence Villemino with the International Press Review. Thank you very much. And now let's take a look at the headlines this hour. The 5 men charged with the